Welcome back to another episode of ROC Boys Football. We still got two more games on the week one slate, and we're talking about the one Sunday night in New Orleans as Florida State and LSU face off. This is a game that we've been talking about pretty much all summer. It's going to tell us a lot about two teams that we really don't know much about. Before we get into it, though, I just want to say thank you guys for all the support you guys have shown the channel. Both the Florida State Seminole fans, the LSU Tiger fans, you guys have been absolutely awesome. I love talking ball with you guys. I'm learning a lot about the teams. So if you do like the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, if you just like talking ball, we love talking ball. Come join the community. We really do appreciate it. Let's get into this game. Sunday night. We got Monday off. It's the only college football game on. Do I love any bets in this game? Probably not. Am I going to bet this game? Yeah, I'm definitely going to bet this game. Let's talk about, I'm going to kind of convince myself of a bet as we go along in this video because I don't love either team. And Florida State and LSU historically not two teams that are very profitable to bet on. Two teams that are very talented on both sides of the ball. They just haven't really put it together. LSU has a new coach in Brian Kelly, new quarterback. Florida State just hasn't really played that good of football with Mike Norvell yet. Although year three is when you really see a coach's culture and what the coach wants to do kind of come to fruition. So this is a massive game for both teams and both coaches. And there's a lot of question marks too, starting with LSU in the quarterback spot. Don't know who's going to play. We know it's not Miles Brennan. We recorded this game preview 4 weeks ago. There's a lot more information now. It seems like it's trending to Jayden Daniels, who is a guy that has all the talent in the world, just hasn't really been able to put it together. He looked really good as a freshman at Arizona State. Last 2 years, not so great. He's going to benefit from whoever starts at quarterback. If it is Jayden Daniels, they're going to benefit from a massively improved wide receiver room. If you look at who Jayden Daniels was throwing to at Arizona State, who was protecting him, it was really bad. He was running for his life a lot. He was dealing with a lot of drop balls. At LSU, you do have some question marks on the offensive line. Can Will Campbell be a SEC-level starter at left tackle? That's a question mark as a true freshman. But the wide receiving core is one of the best in the country, and Jayden Daniels hasn't had that yet. So if Jayden Daniels can be accurate at the ball, not be asked to do so much. At Arizona State, he was asked to kind of be the guy at Arizona State, and he's talented enough to do that, but he had just no help on the outside. At LSU, he's not going to be asked to be the guy. The guys are Kayshon Boutte. The guys are Noah Cain at the running back spot. He's going to have some help. Now, the biggest thing I want to talk about, and the mismatch I see most in this game, is when Florida State has the ball, can they protect Jordan Travis? Jordan Travis is another guy that I don't think gets enough credit for being a really, really strong pocket passer. When he's clean in the pocket, and when he took over as a full-time starter last year for Florida State, his numbers are increasingly getting better. This dude is improving, and that comes as no surprise. You got to play football to be able to improve at the position, especially at quarterback where it takes so much knowledge and experience to be a successful quarterback. Jordan Travis is getting there. LSU has one of the best defensive lines in the country, probably next to only Alabama and Clemson. They're a bona fide top 5 defensive line. You look at the guys that have up front, Ali Gay, Ojulari, Wingo, Jacqueline Roy, Mason Smith, who I think might be the best out of all of them. Maybe not now, but will be. Can Florida State protect Jordan Travis? I think that's the biggest question mark you see in this game. Now, looking to where I want to bet this game, I don't necessarily want to take a side in this game because I think Florida State certainly can win this game, especially if LSU has some question marks in their secondary. They have a lot of good players in the secondary, and my concerns aren't, can those guys win their one-on-ones against Florida State wide receivers? I think they're talented enough to do that. I have more question marks as you're going to see a lot of zone coverage. How well do they pass off routes? Do they have any busts in the secondary? Because that's where I'm concerned the most. We saw that with Oklahoma State on Thursday night. They have good players in the secondary. They just lost a lot of guys, a new defensive coordinator, and there were a few busts that led to some big plays. Can Florida State take advantage of those if those do happen? That's going to be a question. Now, the bet I like the most, Jordan Travis, over 36.5 rushing yards. Florida State is a bye week next week. They historically don't want to put Jordan Travis in too many spots where he can get hurt, especially because the quarterback depth isn't great. They need Jordan Travis healthy if Florida State wants to make a bowl, if they want to make a run at the ACC. They have a bye week next week. He's going to need some ice baths. But I think they're going to design a lot of quarterback runs. This is one of the biggest games of the season. If there is a game where you put Jordan Travis in the health maybe on the line a little bit, It is going to be against LSU tonight. And that's why I think Jordan Travis, you're going to see a lot of designed work for him. But I also think you're going to see a lot of scramble drills from him where he has to get outside the pocket. It's not going to be clean, and he's going to be asked to create for himself. And I think he's going to be asked to do that quite a bit this game. Now, the one concern I have is if LSU has a few sacks, that number is going to be hard to hit. But if Jordan Travis and they can establish the run game, use Jordan Travis on some design quarterback work with the run game, and also some scrambling where he just creates and is one of the best athletes on the field, which he can be, I think you'll see Jordan Travis make some work. Second pick I really like. Now, if I'm taking a lean, I'm probably taking LSU as a lean just because I think their strengths match up with Florida State's weaknesses pretty well, especially on that defensive line. I think that defensive line can really take over tonight. And as a draft guy, I'm just excited to see those guys absolutely go to work. A lot of people like the under in this game, and for good reason. Both of these teams have good, solid defenses, and both offenses have some question marks. But the over-under is so low. It's sitting at 50. And both these teams have playmakers on the outside. They both have playmakers on the offense side of the ball. Are you going to see a lot of consistent drives where teams go 10 plays, 75 yards, and score a touchdown? Probably not. What I do think you'll see is it's a fast track in New Orleans. You have a lot of speed on both sides of the ball. I think you'll see some explosive plays. And looking at Florida State, who, if you're concerned about a team scoring and hitting this over, it's probably Florida State's offense. They hit a lot of explosive plays. Mike Norvell is not necessarily the best, and that offense is not the best at going down and sustaining drives. They do hit a lot of explosive plays. You look at the Notre Dame game last year, that's kind of how they hung around, is hitting some explosive plays. I think you'll see some of that from Florida State with Jordan Travis. I think Micah Pittman can get loose. Trayshawn Ward can get loose. They have some guys you feel good about. LSU, they probably have one of the most, if not the most explosive player on the offensive side of the ball with Kayshon Boutte. And then Jayden Daniels is still one of the most explosive players. I use the word explosive like 80 times. He's one of the best playmakers at the quarterback position. How consistent he can be, maybe a question mark. I do think both teams find some explosive plays, and I do think the overs actually play just because it's been bet down so much. I get it. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but I do think both teams are going to hit some big plays, and I also think that you're going to see some turnovers. Whether it's an LSU strip sack, a Jordan Travis, or Jayden Daniels interception. Jayden Daniels threw 10 interceptions last year at only 10 touchdowns. I think you'll see a lot of big plays that, yeah, you're not going to see offenses sustain successful drives, but I do think you'll see a lot of short fields from turnovers. I do think you'll see a lot of big-time plays and kind of speed up this game a little bit. 50 is not a high number, especially with the offensive playmaking on both sides of the ball, and Jordan Travis, Jayden Daniels, Kayshon Boutte, Trayshawn Ward, and Micah Pittman. I think I like this play. Again, if I were to lean, I'm probably taking LSU to cover 4 points just because I think they have a little bit more talent. I think they have a little bit more consistency. But I do kind of like the over, which I feel like I'm the only one in the world who does like the over. But the playmakers on both sides of the ball, I think we'll be able to create some big-time plays for the boys. And we cash an over. Is there anything better than betting an over? Sunday night, you got Monday off. You're rooting for points. You're rooting for these guys to make some plays. That's what we saw yesterday, Saturday. I think it's going to happen tonight. I like to play. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Again, this game for me is extremely confusing. I don't really know which way to go with it. I'm excited to watch it as a fan, but I also think we're going to see some action here. So let us know in the comment section what y'all think. I appreciate you guys rocking with the ROC Boys as usual, and we'll be back later, probably recapping the game tonight. Appreciate y'all. Talk to you later.